Student, we will continue from the second part. We have learned the first part. When Swami was going to sleep, his father took away the blanket. After that, presently, father came and stood over him. Swami, get up, he said. He looked like an apparition. Apparition means that is ghost in the semi-darkness of the passage. It was not very much dark, but semi-darkness, which was lit by a cone of light from the hall. Swami stirred and groaned as if it slept. Like in sleep you do, father said, "Get up, Swami." Granny pleaded, told, "Okay, why do you disturb him?" Then, "Get up, Swami," he said for the third time. And Swami has to get up. Father rolled off his bed, you can see in the picture, took it under his arm and said, "Come with me, Swami." And Swami looked at his granny. Yes, may she help her? Help him? Hesitated for a moment and followed his father into the office room. On the way, he threw a look of appeal at his mother also. His mother may help him, and she said, "Why do you take him to the office room? He can sleep in the hall, I think." When mother said that he could sleep in the hall, father said, "I don't think so," father said. And Swami slunk means walked stealthily behind him with bowed head. "Let me sleep in the hall, father," Swami pleaded. "Your office room is very dusty, and there may be scorpions behind your law books. As you know, that is, Swami's father was a lawyer. His law books were there, and maybe there are some scorpions. Okay, there are no scorpions. Little fellow, sleep on the bench if you like. If you want to sleep, you can sleep on the bench. Can I have a lamp burning in the room? No, you must learn not to be afraid of darkness. Okay, darkness, it is only a question of habit. If you have a habit, then you can do it. You must cultivate good habits. Will you at least have the door open? I agree. Alright, but promise you will not roll off your bed and go to Granny's sides at night. If you do it, mind you, I will make you the laughing stock of your school. I will tell your school that Swami is sleeping near his granny. Swami felt cut off from humanity. He was pained and angry. He was very much pained and angry also. He was very much angry with his father also. But what could he do? He didn't like the strain of cruelty he saw in his father's nature. He hated the newspaper for printing the tiger story. He had the newspaper because it is the newspaper only that it's just giving him some pain. He wished that the tiger hadn't spared the boy, who didn't appear to be a boy after all, but a monster. He thought that boy is a monster. As the night advanced, Swami was in the back. Bedroom means the office room here. Advanced, and the silence in the house deepened. His heart beat faster. He remembered all the stories of devils and ghosts he had heard in his life. How often had his chum means friend, Vani, seen the devil in the banyan tree. His friend had told, may it be true, may it be true or a lie, that is not okay. He at his pretend. And what about poor Muniswami's father, who spat out blood because the devil near the river's edge slapped his cheeks when he was returning home late one night? He was also just dreaming of that. A ray of light from the street lamp streamed in the cast shadows on the wall. Through the stillness, all kinds of noises reached his ears. The tickling of clocks, the rustling of trees, snoring sounds, and some vague means uncertain creation. That is, creatures, nights, insects humming. He covered himself so completely that he could hardly breathe. Every moment he expected the devils to come up to carry him away. There was the instance of his old friend when he was in class 4th, who suddenly disappeared and was said to have been carried up by a ghost to Siam. Siam is now Thailand or Nepal. Okay. Immediately got up and spread his bread under the bench and crouched together. Crouch means to stoop together. Means like that. Okay. He seemed to be a much safer place. He thought that this is a safer place. More compact and reassuring. Swami shut his eyes tight and encased himself in his blanket. And he went inside the blanket once again, an unknown to himself palace. And in sleep was, but when he was sleeping also, he was wrecked with nightmares. Nightmares means frightening dreams. Okay. A tiger was chasing him. His feet stuck to the ground. He desperately tried to escape. He wanted to escape, but his feet would not move. The tiger was at his back. And the tiger was at his back, pursuing him. And he could hear its claws scratching the ground, like this, scratching the ground. Scratch, scratch, scratch. And then a light thawed. Swami tried to open his eyes, but his eyelids should not open. Okay. And the nightmare continued. It threatened to continue forever. The bad dreams. Swami groaned in despair. With a desperate effort, nothing to do, okay? He opened his eyes. What he could do? He put his hand out to feel his granny's presence. Without opening his eyes, he feel his granny's presence. He wanted to feel his granny's presence at his side because he was sleeping near her as was his habit. But he only touched the wooden leg of the bench. And his lonely state came to him and he thought that I am alone. He sweated with fright. Totally sweated. Quite okay. And now, what was this rustling? The low noise. He moved to the edge of the bench and stared into the darkness. Something was moving down. A burglar may have come. He lay gazing in the horror and his eyes. Then he thought that his end had come because the monster had come. He realized that the devil would presently pull him out and tear him. And so why should he wait? If he is going to die, why should he wait? As it came nearer, he crawled out from the under of the bench, hurled with all might, all his might, all his strength, and used his teeth on it like a mortal weapon. Mortal weapon means that is deadly weapon. Ayo, something has bitten me, went forth and agonized. Agonized means very much in pain. An agonized thundering cry followed by a heavy tumbling because the burglar had come tumbling and falling amidst furniture. In a moment, father, cook and a servant came in. Father with a cook and servant came in with carrying all lights, lanterns like that. Okay. All of three of them fell on the burglar. It was a burglar who lay amidst the furniture. You can see in the picture with a bleeding ankle. Okay. Congratulations were soared on Swami next day because he had captured a thief. His classmates looked at him with respect and his teacher patted back. Yes, you are a very good boy. You are a very brave boy. The headmaster said that he was a true scout because he was a scout. And Swami had beaten into the flesh of one of the most notorious housebreakers. Means is a burglar of the district, and the police were grateful to him for it. The inspector said, "Why don't you join the police when you are grown up?" Yeah. Swami said for the sake of politeness, because his politeness, suddenly, yes sir, though he had quite made up his mind, he had made up his mind to be an engine driver. He wanted to be an engine driver or railway guard or a bus conductor later in his life. He didn't want to be a police officer. When he returned home from the club, that night, father asked, "Where is the boy?" Father came out in the night and came from the club in the night and asked, "Where is the boy?" He said, "He's asleep already. Now 7 o'clock. He didn't have a wink of sleep the whole of last night," said mother. Mother said, "You see, wink of an eye. Kal raat ko ye bhi he has not taken any sleep last night. Where is he sleeping? In a usual place. Which is usual place? Means granny sleeps beside the granny." Mother said casually. "He went to bed at 7:30, sleeping beside his granny again," father said. "No wonder he wanted to sleep before I could return home. Clever boy. He's a clever boy, because before I come, he had slept. He is now sleeping." Mother lost his temper. "You let him sleep where he likes. Where he likes. You needn't risk his life again. You see, he had risked his life." Father mumbled, groaned something as he went into to change his dresses. "All right, mollycoddle." Mollycoddle means to protect from unpleasant experiences and spoil him as much as you like. You like, then yes, you can do. Only don't blame me afterwards. Swami, following the whole, yes, he was following or listening all the conversations from under the blanket. Felt tremendously relieved. He was relieved to hear that his father was giving him, or his father was just not disturbing him, and he felt asleep. And he, yes, so who is the hero here? Who is the hero here?